Hey guys, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. So I know I've been doing a lot of Firefly Guitars videos lately, and I got another one for you today. This might be my third Firefly video in a row, although one of them was on how to avoid scam websites and that kind of stuff, so maybe that one doesn't count. But this guitar right here is actually one of the older models that Firefly sells. And one of the reasons I've been doing so many new Firefly videos is because they released a whole bunch of new models recently, and I'm trying to keep up with all this stuff because these guitars are so popular. But this is one of the older models, the thinline, semi-hollow body, Tele style guitar. But this one now has the rounded ball-in stainless steel frets and a really nice bridge with brass saddles. But the biggest thing I want to talk about with this guitar is the price, because this guitar, I think, proves that even today it is so easy and affordable to get just a super cool guitar. And aside from the specs, which honestly are fairly standard with the exception of the really nice frets, aside from those specs, being able to get a guitar like this with this kind of unique red, black, and white color scheme, and one that just plays great out of the box like this one did for $199. That's the price that this thing is being sold for. You could say under $200 if you want to be sensational. It's just never been easier to get a cool, eye-catching guitar for a couple $100. And look guys, I know, as affordable as these guitars are, they used to be even more affordable. But the price of these has gone from, I want to say, around $150 to just under $200 now. But you compare that to like some of the Fender guitars, like one I reviewed recently, which was the Fender Player 2 modified, like with a Floyd Rose special bridge on it. That guitar costs like $1,200, and it's not a made in USA Fender or anything like that. The prices of guitars have just gone up and up and up in just the past few years. So as always, thank you to Firefly for continuing to make these guitars at really affordable prices. Okay, now let me cover a few things on this guitar, then we'll get into the demo and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. But yeah, you get these guitars off of the Guitars Garden website. That's the official Firefly website. $199 is the price on there. They've got this one. They've got a kind of eggshell blue one. They've got several different colors and then pickup variations for their Tele body style guitars. But yeah, this is the traditional Tele pickup arrangement, and then it's got the thin line body, so the semi-hollow body. It's kind of the top half of the guitar is hollow. 22 frets on the rosewood fretboard, and yes, these are the stainless steel rounded ball-in frets. You combine that with the brass saddles down here in the bridge, and then this nice white perloid pickguard. It's really hard to beat this guitar for under $200. Also, the other thing is I took this guitar out of the box and I tuned it up and played it. And that's the way you see it in the demo. I have done zero setup work to it. Once in a while, I'll get a Firefly that needs a truss rod adjustment, or maybe some adjustments to the saddles to bring the action a little bit lower. I have done absolutely nothing to this guitar except for tune it. So the way you're hearing it in this video is straight out of the box. And on the topic of hearing it, let's go ahead and get into the demo so you can hear more of the tones that we can get out of this guitar. Now, for the demo, I'm using my good old trusty Fender GTX 100 amplifier, and I'll go through a few different tones in there. I'm going to try to not shred in this demo. Sometimes when I'm reviewing a traditional guitar like this, I get a little flack in the comments section if I'm doing all of my tippy tapping and all that stuff. So I'm going to try and just do some more laid back, more relaxed traditional playing. Okay? Of course, guys, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool new affordable guitars and staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you've not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's plug this in and listen to how this sounds. Okay guys, so let's talk a little bit more about this guitar. Does this give anybody else Pokemon vibes? If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. Let's just move on. Anyway, so this is a really fun guitar to play. It really is just a very traditional feeling Tele style guitar. Obviously the body shape, but also the neck profile. One thing that's kind of interesting is the, it's got the stripe on the back for the truss rod, but then you can access the truss rod through here. That's just a little different than a lot of the other guitars, even the Tele style ones that are coming out of Firefly. Some of them are using like the roasted maple necks, and then they've got the little wheel down here on the front of the body in the neck pocket to adjust the truss rod, but this one is just much more traditional. Now, although to be perfectly honest, I'm not a huge, traditional Tele pickup layout fan. In general, I prefer humbucker pickups or just beefier pickups. That being said, though, the bridge pickup, the bridge position on this guitar, I really, really like the sound of it. It's got a nice punchy bite to it, but it really doesn't have the super bright kind of quackiness that I think I would associate with a traditional Fender Telecaster. This guitar, to my ears, regardless of how I have the amp set up, this guitar sounds a little smoother than I think a traditional Telecaster normally would. And you could argue that that's more about the way I'm playing and my pick attack and so forth, but that's just how it comes across to my ears when I sit down and play the guitar. Now there's a few other things, because it's a thin line body, a semi-hollow body guitar. I think it is a bit lighter than otherwise. I weighed this one and it was 6.7 pounds, so certainly under 7 pounds is a nice, comfortable, pretty lightweight guitar. So if you're concerned about the weight of the guitar and you're going to be playing this guitar with a strap standing up, maybe performing long sets or something like that, this is definitely going to be a very comfortable guitar for you to wear for a long time. That being said, though, it doesn't have anything in the way of a belly cut or a bevel for your arm. I mean, I think the bevel really has more to do with the semi-hollow body construction, right? That's pretty tricky to do, to put those different carves and shapes in there and then still have it be semi-hollow body. But despite all of that stuff, it's still a very comfortable guitar to play. There's nothing that feels like it's digging into you or anything like that. Now, if we go back to the price of these guitars, $199, obviously I've been covering the Firefly models for a very, very long time, and I hear people, or I see people talking in the comments like, oh man, I remember when the 338 guitars were $140 on Amazon back in 2017, 2018. And look, don't get me wrong, I miss those days too. But when you consider how expensive a lot of guitars have gotten in the past, just the past like maybe 3 or 4 years, I mean, the price of some guitars has like doubled, and I don't mean double in like a $50 guitar became a $100 guitar or something like that. I'm talking going from 800 to 1600, right? Some guitars have jumped up that much in the price, and so yes, the Firefly guitars, they have increased in the price, but we're getting better features like these rounded ball-end frets, and also a lot of the other guitars that they make, not so much this one because this is a very traditional model, but if you look at the stuff that they're coming out with, like the Explorer-shaped guitars or the ML bodies, or all of the Super Strat guitars that they're coming out with, like a George Lynch inspired, or the EVH inspired with the Floyd Rose bridges, right? Well, of course, when you have more features and more complicated paint jobs and everything, yeah, it's going to cost more. But the fact is, almost all of the Firefly guitars are still under $300. So yeah, I get it. Nobody likes it when the price increases. But at least I think these guitars have increased in price much less than other companies. Okay guys, so here's what I want you to do, and here's my question for you. Look at this guitar over on the website. I'll put the link in the video description. I'll also put the link in the comments section just so you don't miss it. But take a look at all of the different Tele body style guitars they have on the website. Tell me which one is your favorite. Because obviously they have different colors, but some of them have different pickup arrangements with like a pair of humbucker pickups. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer something more traditional like this one? Let me know down in the comments section below. Okay guys, that is it for this video. And look, I can't promise one way or the other if the next video I release is also going to be a Firefly video. They keep bringing out more and more guitars, and they keep being really cool, and people like these videos. So I don't know if it's going to be the next video, but I'm sure I'll do a lot more Firefly videos. I honestly have to go back and look through my whole video catalog. I've done well over 800 videos at this point. Firefly might be my most covered brand. I'm not, it's got to be either Firefly, AIO, or Harley Benton. Those have got to be my top 3. So Firefly might be number 1. Anyway, I'll save that for a future video. Okay guys, thanks a ton for watching. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Everything I was talking about in the video, there'll be links to down in the video description, plus my social media and my YouTube course and all that stuff. And guys, I'll see you in the next video.